So I'm in Tours, France, at the Museum of Typography and Printing, and I'm talking to
Jean-Louis Maitre. I am a teacher of French literature, and now I am in large holidays, and I learn typography in this museum. I am the catcher of science. It's the name of the learner in typography.
Can you tell me a bit about the man who established this museum?
The man who established this museum is Muriel Méchin. It's old but always young printer since 63 years. He began like a learner during 3 years.
Like an apprentice.
Yeah, for the practice. And after he was a worker in printing place during 40 years. At the end, he was a teacher of typography in a school.
In Tours?
Yes, in Tours. You have always a school of typography in Tours. And we have some students from this school who came in this museum to discover the whole technique of typography. Because now it's numerical printing.
Through the computer.
But in this museum, you have many engines, and Monsieur Méchin make many work with this old machine. They are all. The Swallow press is 1870, and he make many things with old paper. He make also paper in this museum, and he use this old machine. And it's very interesting because he have a large collection of pictures to print. Also font, many old font.
And plates as well, plates.
Yeah. Old workers let some treasure in this museum. Picture, stone, wood engraved. And Monsieur Méchin makes many things with this piece of collection. And it's a free entrance museum. Monsieur Méchin pays the rent of the place by the paper printed, the little book.
He wrote a book, right? He wrote an impressive...
He wrote a book about the typography in Touraine, because in Tours you have a place famous for the typography. Nicolas Janson was engraver of money of the King Louis XI, was a good king for the managing of the French. He managed the post office with horses. He managed the typography in France. And Tours was the biggest town. La capitale was not Paris, it was Tours. And you have money from Tours. And Louis XI stayed in Tours. And he helped many the typography. And in Tours you have Christophe Plantin, born near Tours, who print in Belgium the first Bible in 4 languages during the war between Catholicism and Protestantism. Mm-hmm. You have also in Tours is born Abraham Boss. He was the copper engraver of Louis XIII, the time of the 3 Musketeers, D'Artagnan. And in the museum we have a press, old press of this time. It knows D'Artagnan, probably. And also you have Balzac. Balzac is born in Tours. He is a famous novelist, but he was also typographic.
He was a printer?
Yes, he was printer, and also he made fonts.
And he made a famous font.
Yeah, famous. And he wrote a novel, Law's Illusion, which tells the story of a printer like Balzac. And also you add in Tours a big place of printing. The name was Mam Factory. Mam make many books. In the end of the 18th century, it was the biggest factory of printing in Europe, in Tours. Now it's closed, and the place.
Is there a museum there or nothing?
No, it's the School of Art. The Korean student comes from the School of Art in Tours.
Okay.
In the factory, Mam. It's a large, big place. So you have many treasures in Tours and elsewhere. And in this museum, we collect many picture, font, engine.
Yeah, there's not much to it. It's a small place, but boy, have you got a lot of stuff in here.
It's a problem. Monsieur Méchin trying to be helped by the town, but the town was not interested by this story. And it's a pity, because in Tours you have also a story of silk. Louis XI made also factory of silk. And you have many all engine for the silk, and no museum in Tours. For the typography and printing, you have this place, but Monsieur Méchin makes the difficult work because he is alone with some friend to do this place open.
Keep it open, yeah.
He paid the rent with the money of the retreat. When you work after
retirement.
Yes, he paid
himself. Did he collect all of these things, like the presses and the fonts?
Yes.
All himself.
Each week, when I come in the museum, he showed to me a new treasure. Look! I find that in a market in Le Mans, in market in another place. Also, you have some treasure on eBay. More expensive, it's too expensive for us. But many people who have treasure, a printing, come here, and for Monsieur Méchin to do a printing of a wood engraving they have in their tone. But like the King Henri IV, it's a wood engraved, but Monsieur Méchin cannot buy that. It's too expensive. It was in not Christie's, but Drouot, it's a big place in Paris, when you can buy
an auction.
Like Christie's, and it was very expensive. But he had a printing because the man came here and asked for Monsieur Méchin to print. Monsieur Méchin print free. And he keep 4 or 5 leaves of paper, and after he give to the men also 4 or 5 sheets of paper, and after he try to have money, and he try. He say to you, you can buy that, you can buy my book, you can buy, because in December, January, February, we have not many tourists. After, we have many tourists because it's a place of the Castle of Loire, and they visit also the cathedral, and they come here. They are well welcomed by Monsieur Méchin, and he can have just money for the rent of the place, but in winter it's more difficult. We tried before Christmas You say, it's a little gift. It's not very expensive. Mark page is €1.
Bookmark?
Yeah, bookmark. The tree of the parents you show on the press, the large one, €5 for that.
If I was to come in here, could I do my own printing with him or not?
Yeah, he explained to me, and he explained yesterday she made printing on the swallow. She is able to print, and he likes very much to explain and to show, and also we welcome pupils, little pupils here, 6 years, 7 years, and they write their name with a font, and after you have le tablier là, they wear that.
Oh, the little apron.
And after they ink, they print during the holiday. Also during the school, they come with a teacher, and here you have 25 young pupils, and he likes very much to explain. Keep the memory of this old work.
So if I love books and printing and typography, and I just came here, could I do my own printing if I came here?
You don't want to take the work of the printing shop.
Doesn't want to compete with them.
Artistic or personal work, he agrees. And also he likes very much to try something. Somebody want a card,
Business card
with a beautiful picture. He do. But you can ask for Monsieur Méchin to have a personal printing, also the paper. Often, in summer or spring or summer, we let the door open, and the tourist who made the tour of the cathedral, Monsieur Méchin stays here, and he say, "Come, it's free. It's free. Come, have a look." But often they are in a tour and the bus it's very difficult to be known by the tour operator, because it's a little place and it's not an academic museum. We can make paper facture. It's possible. We welcome a school boy, and for €1 for each pupil. And we make facture, no problem. But for the tour operator, it's not too large. It's a problem. But we try, and we welcome people like you.
I was most welcome here, and in fact, I got a tour of everything you have here. And there's so many different types of printing that he's got examples of, and also the equipment that you need to produce that.
In France, you have some place where town pay for a museum of typography and printing. In Nantes, big museum with perhaps 10 people work here to welcome, to explain. They are paid by the town. 10. In Lyon, you have a large, beautiful print museum.
Can you say anything more about Balzac? Did he learn how to print in Tours or not?
No, in Tours. Balzac is born in Tours, and the house of Balzac was destroyed during the Second World War by the bomb. Balzac was a student in Vendôme, is near, and after in Paris, but often he came back in Touraine because he had friends in Touraine, and he liked very much the Touraine. Near of Tours, you have the castle of Sachet. It's a beautiful place you can visit. And in this place, he wrote a novel, Le Lys dans la Vallée. It's a flower A White Flower in the Valley, beautiful novel of love, and he talked about the river near Tours. He began to be a printer, and also he had a factory of font in Paris. But Balzac was a dreamer. He ran behind many dreams. The printing was a dream, but Balzac was unable to be paid. When he made a work, he forgot to be paid. This dream and other dream. He was interested also by ananas in France. He tried a ground with ananas in France. Possible. Ananas, a fruit, a tropical fruit.
Pineapple?
Oui, pineapple. And for the printing, he had a print office and also a factory of font. But after 2 years, no money. He could be in prison.
Yes, because he didn't pay his bills.
Yeah. And the lady, Duchesse de Berny, was the friend, the lover of Balzac, and she paid to avoid the prison for Balzac. She paid and she kept the engine and the place, and she gave to her son the place. Her son, de Berny, became a good manager of font printing. And in France, the last factory of font was named de Berny Peignot. It closed 1980-85.
They manufactured fonts?
Yeah, it's famous. De Berny Peignot. And Balzac wrote to pay the debt. To pay. He made more than 100 novels. To pay, because the debt, many debt. And he wrote also famous novel, The Lost Illusion in Angoulême. It's near. It's a story. It's a story of a printer. And after the young learner in this print factory goes to Paris and became a young, famous fashion victim in Paris. Lost Illusion, and after Splendor and Misery of Beach. Balzac knew very well the work of printing and typography. And
was he trained, or did he apprentice somewhere? Do you know?
No.
Taught him? Who was his teacher?
He bought the paper to become typographer. You could.
Yeah. You needed a license?
Yeah, you could bought to have the paper, and after you bought the place.
Right.
It's possible, but you are not. But he was interested by the printing. He knew many things, but he was not a manager.
Right. So that was his downfall.
Because he followed dream always. He's known for that, the follower of dream. Now,
what about Plantin? He was born here.
Plantin, his name near Tours. Saint-Avertin, the suburb. He became a printer in Belgium, a little time in Tours, but after he went to Paris. It's a time of civil war in France. It's very difficult because you have the war between French Catholics and French Protestants. And it's a civil war. Plantin was nearby the Protestant.
Quelle année?
Plantin, 1540. He left the France. He went in Belgium and he married the daughter of a printer. During 3 centuries, the factory Plantin was a good factory, a rich factory, famous factory, and now it's a museum in Anvers. Plantin worked with the painter Rubens. Plantin worked with Mercator, the geographer. He succeeded to draw on a map the round form of the Earth. The first, La Projection de Mercator, was made in the factory of Plantin. Plantin printed the first Bible in 4 languages: Latin, Greek, Hebraic, and Aramean, the language of the Christ, Aramean. In the Museum Plantin, you have 90% of all the books printed by Plantin during 3 centuries. Plantin was married with the daughter of Mauritius, Plantin Mauritius. And he had son and daughter, and they continued. The museum is very, very beautiful because they have all press in wood from 16th century, the oldest in Europe and perhaps the oldest in the world. And there are many, many, many books. It's a miracle to keep the story, the memory. Here we try, but we are very, very little one. But we try, and we have many, many treasures also. You
at the museum here.
Yeah. Many things. You have wood engraved, many wood engraved for the novel of Balzac. Since 3 years, I come here 2 or 3 times by week, and each time I discover something else, and I make picture. And on Facebook, you have a group, Musée de la Typographie de Tours, Museum of Typography of Tours. It's an open group. On the museum, if you visit the Castle of Loire, if you visit Tours, go to the cathedral. It's a beautiful cathedral, and nearby the cathedral, you have the little museum of typography and printing of Tours.
Perfect.
And often you have a glass of wine also.
Well, thank you so much for telling us about the museum and about some of these important printers and authors.
Okay, I try to speak English, but it's not too easy for me. I was teacher of French literature, but
that's great.
I like to talk with the foreign people. We have many Australian, you have Italian, you have in Tours, you have.
It's a beautiful city.
Because it's a place where you can see Alzey-le-Rideau, Chambord, Chenonceau Castle. You have many castles. You can stay 2, 3, 4 days in Tours in spring or summer and visit this
the
place.
Loire Valley.
The Loire Valley, and they manage also place for riding bicycle. You can follow the Loire during 600 kilometers on road just for the bicycle. And you have also place to sleep.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thanks again for your time. I've been speaking with...
My name is Jean-Louis Maitre. Jean-Louis Maitre, the catcher of science of Monsieur Méchin, Muriel Méchin, the old printer.
Do you have a website, or it's on the Facebook?
It's just Facebook.
And how do they find you on Facebook? It's
Musée de la Typographie de Tours.